WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have something that is a Germany exclusive, a Kirsch import exclusive, Glenallachie Cuvée Cask finish. Distilled 2012, bottled 2023, Billy Walker's signatures on it, no color added, non-chilled filtered, 45.9% ABV. So this is Whiskybase number 229956. This goes anywhere between 79 and 73 euros at the moment. And this is a interesting Pedro Ximénez Moscatel wine barriques and ruby port pipes Cuvée Cask finish. Ooh. So, now, this is unique because Kirsch has, as far as I know, actually done 5 cuvées for Germany exclusives. I have, for example, the 2008 bottling here. That was, this was the best one I've ever had, actually. This was a Pedro Ximénez and Pinot Noir Cuvée Cask finish. Yummy, yummy for my tummy. There is a 2009 that was done in Sherry and Rioja Cuvée Cask finish. So, and there were a couple other ones which I don't have anymore. One I missed totally, and those that I do have here, the 2008 is my favorite. The 2009, that's the vintage year, now we have 2012, this is strawberries and red wine. So a very red wine. The Rioja has a very unique flavor profile that definitely comes through. Now those of you that are very, very attentive, you will notice that the label design, not the bottle design, the label design has changed a little bit. I just have a little bit left in here. I'm saving it. I'm trying to, I'll just use it for comparisons every once in a while. So down here, use of a vintage. Now you have the 2 dates on there. All right, so it does look a little bit different from the bottle, but that's that. Oh, we do have a 10-year-old here. I didn't even see that in my German video I just did. So this did not have the 10-year-old statement here. The box doesn't say 10-year-old anywhere, but it does say that here. That's good. So distilled, matured, and bottled in Scotland. 54.9%. All right, so we're going to start off here. Now, the very first thing I get is a type of sourness. Lactose acid sour, not very particularly to my liking. I do get a dark, chocolatey type of mocha bitterness on the nose. I don't know if you can smell bitterness, but I'm assuming I can in this moment. There's a little bit of a astringency. There's a little bit of cinnamon going on in here. Now, officially, I can read the package here. It says here, a classic sweetness and depth is delivered by the Pedro Ximénez casks, whilst the Moscatel barriques bring fragrant, floral characteristics. These flavors are perfectly complemented and further elevated by the ripe red fruits and hints of nuttiness on the palate imparted from port pipes. The whiskey was monitored frequently to ensure the achievement of exceptional balance between wood and spirit influence before bottling at cask strength for the ultimate flavor experience. Yeah. So what I'm really kind of messed up about, all right? So I am maybe OCD, maybe just a little bit too detailed. It says here, this glorious mahogany malt was initially aged in American oak barrels. What's a mahogany malt? Okay, maybe you say it is mahogany malt means the color of the whiskey. But then it says down here color, it says intense chestnut. Why doesn't it say mahogany? All right, so if I go over here, this actually says light mahogany. If I go over here, it says light mahogany as well. So this glorious mahogany malt was first aged. So this glorious mahogany malt has first been aged in. And so they call this cuvée a mahogany malt. What in all the world is a mahogany malt? The last couple, it's talking about the color, but here it's not even on the color scheme. So, dear Mr. Billy Walker, dear Glenallachie team, what is a mahogany malt? Can you please define that for me? All right, good. Now, from the color, there is a color difference a little bit here between the 2009 and 2008, and also here, very similar, maybe a hue lighter, the 2008, 2009, 2012. If I smell this, okay, I get that strawberry, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of wood. If I smell this, the Pinot Noir and the Pedro Ximénez somehow just complement each other into perfection. I really, really enjoyed this. This was a fabulous, fabulous bottle. This, on the other hand, I'm not really sure. It's got that sourness. I've had so many Glenallachies that have a type of pineapple tartness, but that's not what this is. This is a little bit of baby spit, lactic acid. Then there is definitely a nice fruity berryness here. Glenallachie does have a Moscatel single barrel, and they write on the website here by Glenallachie that it's a dessert wine from Spain. So in German we have the word Moscatel, which is Muscat wine, totally different. And so I'm going to assume that this is a Pedro Ximénez from Sherry, a Moscatel sherry wine, and a port from Portugal. Cheers. Number one, there is a certain amount of heat that goes on at the end. This is a whiskey that has heat to it. Alcohol, youthfulness, heat. This is the youngest whiskey in here is 10 years, but if you use really, really inactive casks for the first, there is no age statement here on the amount of time it was spent in the finishing casks. If you use really inactive casks, and Billy Walker bought it from Pernod Ricard and so on and so on. So this was distilled in 2012. If I look at my book, Billy Walker bought the distillery 2000 and I'm going to say 18. Let's see here. Glenallachie. Glenallachie. So 1989, Pernod Ricard buys the distillery. 2017, the distillery sold to the Glenallachie Consortium. All right, so I was off by a year. I'm sorry. 2018 was, I think, the year they came out with their 50th anniversary, blah, blah, blah. All right, so the 5 years maximum of the 10 that has been spent in good wood. There's a little bit of berry. There's a little bit of cinnamon. There's a lot of wood astringency. I'm not a great fan of this for some reason. Going over to the 2009 with the Rioja and with the sherry. That is whiskey that I like. I don't love it, but I like it. You have the strawberry, you have the fullness, you have the creaminess. You don't have a alcohol burn that's trying to destroy your taste buds. There's a little bit of alcohol supporting, but it's not punishing your tongue and your taste buds. And then we have the 2008, which I think is the best. If I remember correctly, that was also the first release of the cuvées for Germany. Pinot Ricard, Pinot Noir, and the Pedro Ximénez just harmonize, complement each other. Just there's a synergy. 1 + 1 is 7. That is so good. There's a little bit of alcohol supportive note there as well. Very nice. So this is my first favorite. This is my second favorite, and the one I'm reviewing today is my third favorite. Is whiskey getting worse? Is whiskey getting more expensive? Yes. Is the quality of whiskey in many cases declining? Unfortunately, I'm going to say yes. So I've tried I had 3,500 videos online. I've tried over 4,000 whiskeys, more towards the 5,000 whiskeys so far. I must admit that every time I go back to an older bottling, it's like, oh, that's really nice. And today it's like, well, almost always, well, and that's getting frustrating, to be honest. It must be frustrating for the people working at the distillery. It must be frustrating for Billy Walker and his team. It is definitely frustrating for me as the consumer and as the reviewer. The quality of the stock just isn't what it used to be. Sure. This is the problem I have with this whiskey. Is it? All right, it's not bad. There's a little bit of creaminess. There's that berry. There's a little bit of the wood. There's a little bit of the cinnamon. And then it's a heartburn whiskey. I mean, it just goes down and goes, ah. And the alcohol sharpness just increases with the entire time. And there's a bitterness. It's almost like I'm chewing on a bad piece of wood. No. This is a C- value for money D. This is a C+ value for money, back then a C. This is a B-. Don't forget, 79, 75, 69. So this back then was a B- with a value for money as a C. All right, maybe even a C+. All right, this is looking today back at there as like, oh, I would pay 70 euros for that. Would I pay 80 euros for that? No, not again. Would I pay 75 euros for this? Nah, maybe. Would I pay 70 every day of the week, and I would go out and go buy another one? They're all sold out. So we have wait, I can say this number exact. So we had 4,761 of these. We had 3,000 of these in Germany, and I have no idea how many we have of these. Nowhere have I found any information online yet about the bottle number. Okay, good. So C-, D, for the taste and for the value for money. Question of the day. What is your favorite Glenallachie product? And we have 3 different finishing casks plus the American oak barrel beforehand. So 4 casks. Is that maybe one too many? Now my question is, what other 4 cask quadruple whiskey casks have you had? Whiskeys that has been in 4 different casks. I'm sure there are many more, but which whiskeys have you had that have seen 4 casks? In this case, Moscatel. In this case, Pedro Ximénez. And in this case here, Ruby Port Pipes. And of course, before that, American Oak. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and sharing, and telling others. Well, basically the same, but that's okay. Yeah. So sorry, Glenallachie. And dear Mr. Walker, what is a mahogany malt? Please tell us. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.